I have to say, I would be perfectly happy if I were not in a position where, I'm recommending fee increases. I don't think anybody in elective office particularly wants to stand before the General Assembly or before the public and say, I'm recommending that you vote to increase, in this case, basically $45 a year, a fee on folks in order to generate the money to clean the water. But you know what? We got to clean the water, and it costs. And so the fact is, it hasn't happened before, and I don't want to be the guy, years from now when people look back and said, well, DENREC and the state had a very good understanding of what had to be done. They had a list of all the problem areas. They had a list of all the, the areas that we could invest in, the 6 big areas that Secretary O'Mara talked about, but we didn't get it done. We punted to the next generation. That's the choice. We can pretend that this isn't a problem and we can wait, and sometime years from now, because it will be so unacceptable, and there will be so much bad publicity about the quality of our water. Sometime somebody's going to have to do it, and if we wait, it just gets more expensive. We have the ability to do this now. We know it needs to be done. This is not art. This is science. We know what has to be done. And the question is, do we have the will to do it? And so sometimes when people say, Governor, I'm with you, I want to make all these investments in infrastructure, I want to make these investments in clean water, but I don't really want to have to, make anybody pay for it. It's not actually how it works. What we're asking is for everybody to do their small part. But there's so much power when we act together. And I have great confidence that we can make a profound difference. And years from now, people aren't going to know necessarily who the governor was or who the secretary of DENREC was or who the legislators were that made it happen. But what they know is when their child is going to swim in Lum's Pond, they're not having to even think about whether or not it's a good swimming day or not. And whether they're fishing, they're not going to have to think about the idea that we have waterways where you're allowed to eat 1 a year or 2 a year. I mean, is that unbelievable? That's the limit. In some cases, you can't eat any in a year. You can't eat a single fish. It's unbelievable. We have the power to change it. And working together, we will. Thank you all so much for coming out.